Welcome back to the Black and Raw podcast. I'm your host, Tino Kudatonda Ivanzabaya. Now I'm going to repeat that. Here's a podcast that's creating a dialogue and a space for black men to be their most authentic selves. Now, today is a review, not a review. It's where I basically collate all the answers, all the advice that all my guests give to the final question, which I ask is, fuck's sake, go again. Head down. We'll keep that video. She's no point. Welcome back to the Black and Raw podcast. I'm your host, Tino Kudatonda Ivanzabaya. Now I ain't gonna repeat that. Here is a podcast that's creating a dialogue and a space for black men to be their most authentic selves. Now today is a review, maybe not a review, but it's basically where I collect the answers from the previous month to the final question that I ask all my guests. And the question is, if there's a young black boy listening to this conversation, how can something you know or something that we've talked about help them with an understanding of themselves? And so this question really is sort of the crux of what Black and Raw is, and it's just asking each guest, you know, what advice can they give to young black boys that are growing up in this environment, in the culture, and you know, because growing up ain't easy, you know what I mean? Especially if you're young, especially if you're black. I mean, growing up ain't easy for anybody, but when you've got all the other confounding factors, you know, intersectionality and all of that, when you've got other confounding factors, it can be hard. It can be hard. It can be hard being a young black boy. And I'm not whining and saying, oh, it's so hard, oh, woe is me. But there's challenges to everything. So, this question is really just for y'all to be able to listen to what these people have to say. And you know, everyone challenges, or everyone tackles this question differently, and I really like that. And I really like that people put their own personal twist on it and bring their own personal experiences to it as well, because really that's what it's all about. So who will you be hearing from first? So these are my guests from the month of March. So we had Sean A. Anderson, we had J. Halim Washington, and then we had Timothy Stewart. So who you'll be hearing from first is Sean A. Anderson, and the episode is titled Shut Up and Dribble, Should Athletes Be Social Activists? I really enjoyed this conversation, to be fair. I like sports and activism, both things I really passionate about and I enjoy. So, and we talked about the NBA, we talked about, you know, we talked about a lot of interesting things in the episode. Like, honestly, go listen to this episode, really. If you're, wherever you're listening or watching, the links to the episodes will be in the show notes. So if you like what you heard from Sean or from Tim, then yeah, go and listen to the full episode, or Jay Halim as well. So I really hope you guys enjoy this, and tell me what you think as well. So here is the advice that Sean A. Anderson gives.
That hits close to home in many ways, because I know for me growing up, I wish that I was exposed to more than just pushing to be a professional athlete. So I would tell a young black boy now to cherish your intelligence. It's not something to where you are acting white if you're intelligent. You know, you are unique. You are building something special. Listen to those mentors who want to see you thrive, who want to see you succeed, because you may be the next person that cures cancer, or you may be the next person that takes the work that I'm doing and takes it further than what I ever could. And I'm okay with it, because I'm in my time. The future is yours. Try to be as patient as you can. I know it's hard in this life that we live, being black men, but never tell anybody that your intelligence is a hindrance. You are special, you are loved, and you can always reach out to me and other mentors to help you see that path.
Nice. So the future is yours. I really liked that from Sean A. Anderson. And, as he said, your intelligence, value your intelligence, because there's plenty of smart young black men that are out there, and don't feel like you don't belong in an area where you're excelling with your intelligence. Don't let people, some people are like, oh, you're a nerd, you're a sweat, you're this and that. At the end of the day, you're gonna be going places. So don't listen to what those people say about you. You just do you, you just be you. And thank you, Sean, for that. I really think that is really important for people to know. And even when he said about, he wished there were more options for him to succeed than just being a sports star. Sean wanted to go and, play college NFL and, college football, and he didn't get that opportunity, so he still did something he loved within sports and became a sports scientist. And now he's a doctor, bro. Now he's a doctor. He's got DR in front of his name, so he's still thriving in something that he still loves to do, but he pivoted to end up doing sports research and community activism through sports. So I think also take that message away. If there's something that you want to do and it's not sort of the traditional way of, not existing, but like a traditional job, or maybe, I remember there's a lot of stuff in COVID about boys that were, and I'm sure it happened to girls as well, but that were part of football teams, and that, they got released and then they didn't have anything else because they devoted all their lives to playing football, and then now they have nothing. I'm going to try and see if I can find the article. I'm going to put it into the show notes for you guys, because it made for some really interesting reading, actually. And, for those guys, they would have had their whole existence to be challenged. It would have been like, damn, if I don't play sports, what do I do? And I think, as you can hear from Sean, and if you go listen to the full episode, when your existence gets challenged like that, especially at an early age, you've got to pivot. And you can still do something in football. He wanted to do sports journalism. He tried that, but it wasn't his thing. Then he went into sports and research, and that was his thing. And now he's got a book as well. So you can still thrive in something else that maybe you didn't think you were ever going to thrive in, or you didn't even think that was a possibility. So open your mind to whatever possibilities there are in front of you, and be able to change, be able to pivot, because you will be a better person for it if you can adapt and change and stuff like that. Change is the only thing that's constant in life. So I really think that's really important, and I really loved what Sean had to say. And so who you be hearing from next is Jay Halim Washington. And I know you guys are going to love what Jay Halim has to say. I really enjoyed talking to Jay Halim. He's a man, he's 40. But he just has a real good energy about him. And that was one of my favorite episodes. You know what? I always say this. I always say, oh, that was one of my favorite episodes. But I just loved talking. I love talking to everyone I talk to. The topics that we talk about are always interesting. And even if I don't have much knowledge in that topics, I just love talking and finding out more about people, and they're experts in that, so I'm absorbing what they're doing. So I really like that. And yeah, so Jay Halim Washington, I Won't Starve. Go and listen to the episode, but you're going to hear his advice to young black boys from the question that I asked him. So let's give a listen to Jay Halim Washington. Let's get the headphones on. Let's get going.
That they're not alone. That other people actually know what they're dealing with. People listen to podcasts every day, and not too many people are hearing, especially young kids, somebody speaking to exactly what they're dealing with. It's always a judgment. It's always a critique, and yes, they're doing some dumb stuff. For real, it's no need to lie about it. At the same time, let's talk solution-based. And here are solutions. It's the truth that is a language barrier between kids on the corner and people in corporate America. It's a language barrier between the kids on the corner and the people in the church. it's, and if we're not willing to bridge that gap, we're going to keep losing. And then when you start to think about the jobs, oh my God, we got to stop. They're doing it now over here in the States. They're really trying to focus on giving felons jobs, because we got to a point where everybody needs employees. Mm-hmm. And so now you're not really worried about that. Now, in more of the major states, they're a little bit more lenient, but still some of those other states were trying to hold on to that. But no, man, these are a huge amount of citizens that could be working. And you're saying because they had a nonviolent offense, they can't get a job. Like they're going to go back to doing the same thing they wasn't doing. And they already know this, but it's all about solution. And one of the biggest things is understanding that I want the kids to understand is that they can do it at the level that they are. I say that in this book. That's one of my key principles, to start where you are. Don't worry about, I got to have $10,000, $100,000. Wherever you are is good enough. I just moved to Vegas a little over a year ago. I already adopted a school. I'm not from here, but I already adopted a school. So that's one school that's going to get lunch every month for me. We're going to come there. We're going to send supplies. We're going to be there, support. That's one. Now, before it's all said and done, it's going to be way more than that. But again, I'm not waiting on, if I had 15 other people to help me, I can get the whole district. Forget that. I'm going to start with one. And then we're going to work. I'm always going to do what I can do. I'm never waiting on nobody else, and they shouldn't wait on nobody else. Do what you can do, and what you can do is more than enough, I promise you, because instead of you sitting there doing nothing, doing something is always more than enough.
So, you just heard from J. Halim Washington there, and I really think that advice went to everybody, to be honest with you, because as he was saying that he's moved to Vegas and he's been able to go and help out a school with school meals and making sure that children are getting fed, and he's just using the resources that he has to be able to go out and make the change that he wants to see. And so I really think that's a great message for anybody that's listening, for anyone that's got resources and can give people opportunities. Go and do what you can do, because they say be the change you want to see in the world. Go and make little changes. And I think there's many times on this episode, not this episode, but just in episodes, where I've said I would always love to see the God perspective on humans. You know what I mean? Like, where people make changes in people's lives, where, like, I had a teacher called Miss Day. I've mentioned her plenty of times, but she really helped me in A-levels and really helped me believe in myself. And I hope she watches and listens one day, but she won't know the impact that she had on me. Well, she knows now, but there's loads of people like that have impacts on children, young people, adults, and they don't know what impact that's going to have on them. You could just smile to somebody, or you could buy someone food one day when they're struggling, and you don't know the impact that's going to have on them. It feels really small to you, but to them it's something. And so, like I said, I always love to see that God perspective, because that'd be cool to see where, like, someone comes into your life and helps you out, and then that puts you on a different path, And so that would always be something that I would really want to see, which would be cool. But I digest. Don't have a God complex. But, GOD is pretty cool. But yeah, I think as well in this episode, we talked a lot about youth criminality. And I was going to say I know what it's like, but I don't. J. Halim knows what it's like. And so for those that are involved in youth criminality, I would recommend you listen to this episode, or even just watch it on YouTube. It's free on YouTube. Just give it a little watch, because he comes from that world and he knows what it's like to be involved in that, and he knows how to change his life. There's been people in his lives that have helped him out and that have given him opportunities, and he's taken those opportunities. And in this episode, we talk about the opportunities that he's taken and that have helped propel his life to where he is now. He's written 4 books. He's an author. He's a presenter. He's a speaker. And, he's out there helping people. So that can be you. If you're involved in youth criminality and you're thinking, I want to get out, or I want to do something with my life that's productive, then, listen to the episode, find a mentor, take some of the advice that he had said in this, and I know it's not easy. I actually don't know. I don't know if it's. I can have an idea that it's not easy to get out of that life, but I think if you listen to Jay Halim's story, I think it would give you hope that that can be you. And for people with resources, in this episode we talk about a lot of solutions about how we can help those that are involved in youth criminality. You know, we both come from a social care background, so we talked a lot about that too. And for those that are in positions of power, you can help those. You can help them. You can help children involved in youth criminality by giving them opportunities. You know, there are skills that they have which you may not think, oh, is that really translatable? But you know, Jay Halim was saying he would go to school in the morning and then he would hustle in the evening and then he'd be up for school again. So like, that's hustle, bro. That's hustle. That's hard work right there. Even though he's not using it for the best things, he's still got that skill. So try and see the skills that these young people have and don't come at them with judgment. Come at them with like, you could have potential. You do have potential. And so I think that is really valuable. So go listen to the full episode because it's packed full with nuggets. And I really enjoyed talking to Jay Halim Washington. And so the next episode, the next person you will be hearing from is Talkman Talk, Timothy Stewart. I really loved talking to Timothy. He was great. And the episode is titled Created for a Purpose, Packed with Potential to Live by Principles. To function by principles. So I think you guys are really going to I recommend listening to the full episode actually, but I really think you guys are going to like what Tim has to say. And yeah, let's get listening. Let's get listening to what Timothy has to say about my final question that I ask all my guests. So let's hear what advice he's got. So let's roll. Let's move. Don't know why I did that.
Okay. The first priority would be to look at what they're good at naturally. Okay, some people are good at drawing, some people are good at singing, some people are good at speaking. You know, when I discovered at 45 years old, I didn't discover my gift till I was 45 years old, but I had it. I had it when I landed here, like a bird lands here with flight already in it. Nobody puts flight in a bird. A fish lands here with swim already in it, right? Nobody puts swim in a fish. I remember getting in trouble all the time in first grade, second grade, third grade. Guess what I stayed in trouble for? Talking in the class. Had the gift when I got here, right? Yeah. So I would tell a young brother, let's look at what you're good at. What is your gift? That gift is going to give us an indication of what your purpose is. Now, when you understand your gift, now you can see your purpose. Now let's train your gift so you can serve your gift to the world. So you know that smoking cigarettes won't help you train your gift, or drinking alcohol, or all of these other kind of things. Look, you have a reason, man. When a person says "I am," that's strong, man. That is strong. So I would tell this young person, let's discover who you are, right? And let's train you. You were created for a purpose. You have potential. And here are the 12 principles that will help you not only discover your purpose, but protect it and your gift.
Yeah. No, brilliant.
That's it. It's very simple. You know, the more I learn, Tino, the simpler life gets. You know, there's a lot of theories and philosophies, and some of that stuff is, I'm gonna just say, some of the stuff out there is garbage. When we get down to the real deal, it's just as simple as the nitty gritty. Yeah. It's just as simple as sowing grass seeds. Yeah. And sowing the grass seed thick.
So, as you heard there from Timothy, yeah, find what you're good at, you know what I mean? Like, you know, as he was saying, he was getting in trouble with his teachers for talking. I always used to get in trouble for talking as well, and maybe that's why I've got a podcast. But yeah, he said find something that you're good at, you know. He found his purpose at 45. So also don't stress if you're 20, if you're 25, if you're 35 and you're like, damn, I don't know what to do with my life. You know, life is long. I hope everybody lives a long and healthy and full life, because, you know, you can find your purpose at a very late age, but hopefully you find it earlier so you can do it for a majority of your life. You know, I want to be doing this podcasting YouTube game for, I don't know, just however long it takes me, to be honest with you, because I love it. And so there's also other stuff that I love doing as well. But I think you guys can and will find what you're good at and use that to be able to find your purpose. You know, it doesn't even necessarily have to be, you know, we live in this society these days where it's like, find what you're really good at, you know, what you're gonna do, you know, if it doesn't feel like work, if it's, you know, something that you love to enjoy and do. But I guess not everybody gets to do something they love and enjoy they do. But then what you love and enjoy you do can be anything, you know. I'm soon going to be working as a social worker, and you know, young people and helping people is something that's a part of my passion. And so that's something which is not flashy, it's not glamorous, but I'll be doing something that aligns with my purpose, aligns with who I am. So I think you can do anything and it can be part of your purpose. It's really just how you view it and your perspective, because you could be making amazing change out there, you know, doctors, nurses, like teachers, even politicians to a certain extent. I'm not going to get into that. But you can be doing anything and it can be part of your purpose, and you can be impacting the world if that's what you want to do. If that's not what you want to do, then whatever you want to do, but just find that for yourself, because it will enrich your life. And I really like that advice that Timothy has given. And, you know, I think you guys are going to enjoy the episode. If you go and listen to the full episode, I think you'll really enjoy it. And Timothy has been through a lot. As we said before with, oh, damn it, my brain is blanking, Jay Halim. He was involved in youth criminality and dealing drugs, and Timothy was an addict for a long while. So these guys have really been on the extreme ends of life and are now thriving and succeeding and doing well and changing their lives. So like, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, there's always hope that things can get better. And to be honest with you, I think that's always how I approach life just in general. Speaking of politicians, Keir Starmer, Labour leader, ish fan of him, but he was talking about how his mother had been really ill for a lot of his life, and it sort of influenced how he acts now and how he behaves now, in that he says that things will always get better. You won't always be in this situation forever. Even though it may feel like it, you won't be. Like I said, change is the only thing that's inevitable in this life. And so I really like, for all Keir Starmer's faults, I really liked that sort of perspective on life. And I think I have that perspective on life as well, that, you know, things can change and things will get better. And so I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I hope you took something from the advice that all my guests have given. And I really hope you enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed the advice as well. Go and check out my website. There's going to be extra resources on there. If you want to listen to any of these episodes, just go into the show notes, go into the descriptions, and you will find them there. Please go and watch them. And please tell me what you think in the comments. Tell me what you think of their advice. But then also, if you go and listen to the full episodes, tell me what you think of the episodes. I'd really love to hear from you guys. You can contact me, speak@blackandraw.co.uk. That's my email. But then also Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, @blackandraw. And for those watching on YouTube, please go and like and subscribe. And for those listening to the podcast, please subscribe wherever you listen to the podcast, so you know that there's a new episode out. There will be a new episode out next week as well. And so I hope you guys are ready for that. So thank you very much, guys. And we'll talk soon.